Big Bang Theory for hustlers. It's always been running circles around niggas. When I was a kid, we used to run around and, do little miscellaneous things to come up with, a few dollars or whatever. And, I've been sharing this with you guys, and I'm gonna continue to tell you, the things that meant the most to me in my life. And I'm gonna try to always be straightforward with you as much as I can here. From again, I said early on, if you've been following me, I was a full-time thief, but I also had a hustling mentality to where when it wasn't nothing to steal, it was something for me to hustle off. So we started off with bottles, and we would wash the bottles out, and then we would take them to certain places to get coins. If we went in the hood, they'll give us like a nickel a bottle. If we went to the white folks, they would give us a dime a bottle. When that got old, we went to a scheme. I don't know where it came from, but it was real lucrative, for us. And that was paper machine. We would rob the paper machines. And these paper machines would sit like on a side of a grocery store or a drug store or wherever it may be at. What we would do is take bubble gum, double mint chewing gum. We'll chew it up, take all the sweet out of it, and then stick it on the hot pavement. And then we would stick a quarter or 50 cents in the thing, and you could look right inside of the thing now and see the coins. And we would stick that on a straw, the bubble gum on the straw, and we would just fish all the money out. When we did that around home and we ran out of places to go, we would even go and take it to the big city and do it, because the big city would have these paper machines lined up. Excuse me, they would have them lined up like 30 or 40 of them. And we would just, we would just pick all the coins out of them. So it wasn't nothing for me to come home and have $100 worth of change or something like that. And my mom would always be like, "Boy, where you getting all this money from?" or whatever. I would always just tell her, a bold-faced lie, but it was helping with us, being able to obtain some more food and stuff like that around the house. Anyhow, one day I was home. My mama used to, she used to bog me down a lot, especially when I was like in the upper teens, like 15, 16. I would have to stay home and watch my siblings when she had to work on the weekends. It used to be a drag. But I get a knock at the door, and I'm not going to name drop my guy because this is a sensitive situation, but it did happen, and I want to share it with you guys. I get a knock on the door. It was a Saturday. I remember because I was babysitting my younger siblings. He knocked on the door. "Man, hey man, I found some money." So I was like, "What you mean you found some money, man?" He was like, "Man, look, man." He showed me a wad of 20s. He was like, I need you to keep this money for me or whatever, and I'll be back to get it." So, 30 minutes went by. I'm sitting in the house counting the money. I was like, "Wow, man, this guy really came and brought this." So my mind just went there. I went and bought a little miniature video game. I went by the jewelry store and bought my mama this necklace. It was like a sterling silver necklace, but the charm was actually a digital watch. It was a sterling silver digital watch coin. I went to the top jeweler to get it too. It was like maybe like $100 and something I paid for the necklace. And then I went to the store and went and got a couple of boxes of beef sauces, some eggs, grits, butter, stuff that we like to eat at the house or whatever. And boom, about 2 hours later, I get a knock at the door. It's my guy. But this time he got his auntie with him. She like, that money, give me that money back or whatever. That money that he came brought you. I say, "Money? What you talking about?" He was like, "Man, that was my auntie money, man. I went in her purse and got that money or whatever. And, I need to give her that money back or whatever, man." I was like, "Hey, man, I ain't got that money, bro." So he was like, "What you mean you ain't got the money, man?" I say, "Man, bro, I ain't got that money, bro. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got that money, man." So she, kept going and kept insinuating that, what she was going to do if I didn't give up the money. And, just my conscience, I went in the back and gave her what was left. It was like maybe like $30 or $40. And she cried, and, she talked about calling the police. And, my guy, my friend, it took a while for him to come back and talk to me after that. But that was some of the situations that I stayed in, man. And I found out later on in my hustling career that I was immensely gifted. Money just seemed to just come when it wasn't no money to come to other people. Money just somehow found me, and I learned to want to get more and want to get more. So these schemes became bigger and what you had to do to come up to obtain this money. You understand what I'm saying? But my teachers would even tell me that sometime in school when I got to like middle school, they used to use that word. And so I thought about it, man. And I thought maybe they was picking at me, but they wasn't picking at me because I understood later on that these talents I had was just a street code talent. It didn't have nothing to do with school.